Before we start the video, I have created a community Discord for old school RuneScape players and everyone is more than welcome to join us. We have weekly events, giveaways, and we do bossing together, so if you want to join more than 500 old school RuneScape players to have a chat and hang around or just chill with me, the link is in the description. Okay, let's start the video. This is part 2 to the previous video where I talked about how one of my community members got falsely banned by Jagex detecting system and that person had absolutely no way to get their account back. I made that video in a hurry and left some important facts out. So today I want to continue this topic because I'm not joking when I say this. If this were to happen in any other game currently, it would be international news in the gaming scene. Yet somehow nobody talks about this because it's old school RuneScape. There is currently a pandemic going on where hundreds of players are getting falsely banned for rules they have never broken, and the worst part is there is no way to appeal that ban because the system is set up for you to fail. Firstly, I want to talk about my community member who got falsely banned in more depth so you can fully understand how incredibly stressful and hard it is to get your account back. So, let's call him Adam. He got his account banned for the things he never did. Firstly, he tried to appeal that ban on the old school RuneScape homepage, but that is an automated system which denied the appeal after few seconds. The system has a database built in that looks into the evidence you appealed, and if that doesn't line up with their evidence, it automatically says no. Now, this is already a bad sign, meaning that if you make a typo, if you don't immediately remember all your information or just have never experienced this sort of system before, you will never ever be able to appeal that decision again. And it's final. Now, understandably, it's set up so people can't abuse it infinitely, but at the same time, it's also set up for players who actually need help. So you appeal, the robot overloads look into it and decide in few seconds that the ban was correct, and you will never be able to submit another appeal again. Now you have the second option, going to Twitter. There is an official Jagex support account who is supposed to help you out. First of all, that service is directed to third-party company. Jagex just buys it in. There isn't actually anyone from Jagex in control of that account, meaning that if you have in-game issues that need to be solved, let's say something really specific related to your account only, you will not get any answers to your problems. Instead, that account and the company that runs it get textbook answers to all of the most common questions, and whenever a specific question does rise, they just answer with what looks to be the most promising answer. Case in point, a player gets muted for being underage, but that incident happened 8 years ago. Person makes an appeal, that appeal gets denied by the system and the decision is final. That person goes to Twitter and asks for a re-appeal since they're not underage anymore. Jagex support account responds back saying once you stated that you're underage, you will be unable to use the chat for the rest of your life and we can't help you anymore. And the person comes back saying, yeah, I was underage 8 years ago, but people do get older. The support account completely missed any common sense you can have in that interaction. Another case where one player got falsely banned, then got the ban removed and now wanted to thank the entire support system for coming to help him out, and the support account writes back an answer that is literally copy-pasted from a list of answers they give out every single day. And it just keeps going. Player votes an issue they have going on and the support answers back B. That's it. It's clearly not designed to actually help players out, but rather just drive the players down another rabbit hole with no conclusions. Okay, got it. So Adam couldn't get help from Twitter either. Another issue is, if your appeal gets denied by the email your account is attached to, you can't contact with any other email as well. Jagex's system blocks any emails that is not attached to the ticket itself, which again, understandably it's there to avoid people exploiting the system, but it also prevents from actual people to get help. You literally cannot email them once your appeal gets denied. So no help from the homepage, no help from Twitter, no help through emails, and keep in mind, Adam's ban was wrong, which we're later gonna find out. Now, what do you do in that situation? You pretty much ran out of all options, nobody wants to hear you out. But Adam didn't want to give up. He knew he hadn't done anything wrong, so he took the next step. And I kid you not when I say this, Adam wrote 3 letters. Yes, letters like our grandparents used to write with pen and paper to Jagex headquarters in Cambridge just to get his account unbanned again. He went to the post office, mailed the letters to an address for Jagex support team, Jagex anti-cheating team, and finally Jagex complaint team, one after another. Think about this for a second. You've done nothing wrong, but after the 3rd letter you've now wasted weeks just to get a human get back to you. And you wanna know what happened? Fuck all. Adam never received any calls, any letters back, any emails or anything else. You appealed once, denied, hundreds of hours on your account progress, gone. Deal with it. Now, this is where Adam contacts me and asks me to help him out. We go through the same process again together, but every link that could help him out directs him to that first appeal that got automatically denied. Then one day, I see one of the Jagex moderators who works at the anti-cheating team pop into a Reddit thread, and I ask Adam to jump into that as well. Maybe, just maybe, another Jagex moderator can look into this and find out that Adam did nothing wrong. And lo and behold, a few hours later, all the offenses are removed. The account is unbanned, and that same Jagex moderator even responds back with a letter saying we didn't have enough evidence on your account, so we removed all the offenses. And also, like I stated in my previous video, that Jagex moderator removed the ban on his own free time. He wasn't even working at the moment. Meaning, we had to find a random Reddit thread in the middle of the night in r/new where nobody goes anyways, be lucky enough to find a Jagex moderator in that thread, hope they answer you back while looking into this, and at the end that was the only way we could get justice after weeks of headache and stress. Now, this was only one player. Why am I bringing this up is because lately there have been hundreds of players in a similar situation. Since the start of this year, I swear I've seen a new thread on Reddit every few days about someone who got falsely banned. And at the end, if you're one of the lucky ones, you will get the same message as Adam did. Here is another one from just a few months ago with the same text. Sorry we banned you, have a nice day. In the last 2 weeks alone, there have been dozens of threads popping up saying they have been falsely banned and are looking for help. Again, people will bullshit and say whatever they wanna say to get their account unbanned even though they have broken rules. But there are also multiple cases where players are just helpless and they have to accept that they are a paying customer, they have done nothing wrong, and now they lost their accounts. Like, look at this Reddit thread. A player works in the US military and was deployed in Germany. After their deployment was done, they come back to home, and after logging in once, their account gets locked. They try to appeal it, it gets automatically denied because the system thinks this player is not the original owner. Now let me ask you again, how is this acceptable? No matter what your opinions are of me, these players or anything else in the game, we should not tolerate this at all. And again, as Mongol said it right, if this happened in any other game, it would be the biggest headline of the month. Jagex falsely banning their own paying customers and doesn't give them the right chance to appeal. And honestly, I can just keep going with this. These are not just some individual cases that are a rare occurrence. It's just that these happen to regular players, so you don't hear about it. But why this has come up now is that it's become such a common thing that the word has gotten around. And here we are. Another case. A clan hosts a bingo event. This is their bingo sheet. And if you don't know what it is, basically you want to fill out as many slots by completing tasks in-game, and you pay a fee of 5 million gold, seen in this picture, to participate in the bingo, and the winners take a majority of the pots. Completely legal, and clans do it all the time, including my community. Now, what ended up happening is that the account that was holding all the money got banned for real-world trading. The problem is, it was holding only the money that was meant for the bingo event, meaning the fees that were paid, and at the end all those fees were gonna be given back to the same clan members. So it was literally impossible for this account to real world trade. They appeal, the appeal gets denied automatically, and the entire clan is trying to reach anyone on Twitter for help, because even though the gold on the account isn't a colossal amount, the account was still falsely banned. Absolutely zero response from Jagex behalf, so they have nothing else left to do but to make another Reddit thread asking for help. And they post all the proof in that thread showcasing that it was indeed a false ban, but that's just the reality. That's how far you have to go just to get a chance for Jagex to look into it. And again, try to explain this situation to the people that run the Jagex support account on Twitter. These words mean absolutely nothing to them because they never played the game. Why would they understand about a clan bingo prize pool, right? Now put yourself in those players' shoes. Wouldn't you feel extremely hurtful and sad that by default you want to trust this company to do the right thing, but essentially at any moment you can do absolutely nothing wrong by Jagex's own rules, but everything you work for hundreds or thousands of hours is gone forever, and what's even worse, there's no way to get it back. Now I don't want to be all Debbie Downer, so let's try to find a way how to fix this. There's never gonna be a system that is 100% correct. False bans happen all the time in every game. The only way to fight against that would be to have a manual overview to sort out those few cases out of those thousands that get a false positive. I think players wouldn't be so critical of this if we had a reasonable appeal process in a place, just like literally every other game has. An actual dedicated customer service. Problem is, it costs money, and well, how about I let another Jagex moderator explain it to you instead?
We did a thing to say, right, if I was to have a JMod standing at the GE on World 301, just banning people 24/7, how many people would you need? You need 3 people every day. They work 8-hour shifts, so you need 3 people every day. They're going to take, they only work 5 days a week, so you're going to need another, 2 people on top of that. So suddenly you've employed 5 people. There's going to be holidays as well, so you probably need a couple on top of that. They need someone to manage them all. So you're talking 8 people to start with, just to stand in one spot on the world map and ban people. And you got to pay these people. So I mean, let's say they're 30 grand each. You have to pay probably 50% on top of that for all the costs that involve around employing somebody. So suddenly you're spending 45 grand per person. So you're spending just short of £500,000 just to do that. And it's like, yeah, okay. So suddenly the mums just rocket as soon as you start employing people to do stuff.
Now, he was talking about banning people, but the same thing can be applied to customer support. It's expensive, and I get it. Well, I don't, because I'm not a financial leader in a corporate institution, but that's what it boils down to. Are the corporate overlords willing to invest into this game to ensure that every paying customer gets fair treatment? And right now the answer is resounding no, because it costs money and that means less profit for them. And the other issue is all those players who actually did break rules and got fairly banned are lying out of their asses because they have nothing to lose. And that makes it even more difficult for players who are actually innocent. The bottom line is, we have a new skill coming out. We have 4 new bosses coming out with Grandmaster Quest, weapons, rings, items, prayer books, minigames, all of those things, not to mention updates like Bounty Hunter and even like leagues. How can you possibly do all of those things while people are scared to log in because they might get their accounts locked? I'm not saying this will happen to every player. In fact, it happens to very few players compared to how many we have, but I know for a fact I would be extremely upset if the account I played for thousands of hours suddenly disappears and there's nothing I can do to get it back. The appeal system is basically non-existent, and if you are truly force banned, you have to play the Reddit lottery and hope a JMod takes the bait. So think about this, because just like with every other drama in this game, if we make enough noise, hopefully they will listen. But that's it from me. I'll see you all in a few days with another video. I love you all. Bye. Mwah.